Hey everybody, it is the Goose once again. You might be asking yourself, Goose, what's up with the crazy hat? Sunglasses. I know you work day shift. Probably like 8 o'clock at night. It is. Before we go any further, I was reminded by one of my viewers when I said in my last video about what's going on with the big trip in June that I don't drink non-disclosed beverages. I drink nutrients. Oh man, that's good. It's not as good as that ESB. But a brother down in Florida that can't get it. Hashtag at Red Hook ESB. Yeah, send it. Anyways, what this video is about is the future of my channel. There ain't no gold in Florida. Let's just be real. There isn't any. And that fever that you get from digging gold with that green pan, whoop, right there, it don't leave you. Once you got it, there ain't no cure. So I had to sit down, kind of think, we moved down to Florida. I knew for a fact when I got here, there is no gold in Florida. Maybe up at the very tip of the panhandle, but it's not even worth chasing. What am I going to do? How can I entertain my millions and millions of, my 1,800 subscribers? Anyways, that's still a sore spot. But how can I still produce content that's going to be entertaining, going to be fun? And the one thing about the Goose is a history nut. I love history. And I was like, all right, yeah, okay. But there's still that gold. So what I've decided is every 6 months, maybe once a year, I'm going to make a big gold trip. Whether it be out to California, like what I'm doing in June, or heading up into North Georgia to go visit Doc, dig with him. You know how I am about them Gold Hog products. That is the cash money, the cat's meow, you name it. I love that stuff. And we're talking like an 8-hour drive. I could do it, make a weekend out of it, have a lot of fun. Or what I really would like to do one day is get up into Alaska. Get after that big gold. What I would really, really like to do is get up to Nome, Alaska, and dredge for it. Now, I got some connections. I know a guy that may or may not be able to get me on a dredge to vacuum up the bottom of the Bering Sea. But you're still sitting there going, Goose, why the goofy freaking hat? Why the sunglasses? Here's why. This is the direction my channel is going to start moving in. But it's going to take a minute. Florida has history like you would not believe. St. Augustine is 2 hours east of me. The Gulf of Mexico and a couple rivers that feed into that Gulf of Mexico are less than an hour away from me. Where I am currently living, the Spanish been through here. The Confederate silver has still not been found. There's ideas, speculations, but ain't nobody found it yet. And the most exciting thing to me is on the mouth of one of these rivers, it was well known that the pirate Jean Lafitte used to park his ship and run boats up this river. So still, it's like, Goose, why are you wearing that goofy ass hat? Why are you wearing them sunglasses? I'm going to tell you why. When you go to the beach or you read anything about Florida beaches, what do you always see or hear about? That crazy old dude with his metal detector walking up and down the beach with his big hat, his white nose all pasted up, his sunglasses, his half-calf socks, and his Birkenstocks, walking up and down the beach trying to dig up your little rings, quarters, nickels, and dimes. That's where I'm going. But that's my lawn mowing hat. Sorry if I look kind of ratty. Ain't had a haircut in a couple of weeks. And it was a long freaking day on the compound. At a place that will remain nameless. That I'm employed by the state of Florida that holds people behind a large fence with razor wire. It was a long day today. But I'm going to start metal detecting. It's what I got out here. I mean, it's still, maybe gold I find, maybe silver. It may just be little pieces of history that I dig up. And I'm really new. I had a Garrett AT Pro years ago. I want to say about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. And I sold it to help buy a dredge that I never really used because permitting for a dredge in Washington State was a nightmare. La. At the time, I didn't know I was coming to Florida. So I got rid of the metal detector. I sold it. And not only that, in Washington State, as far as the U.S. is concerned, Washington State is one of the newest states. It was one of the last really settled, and so my best find was a 1972 Canadian penny. But down here in Florida, Spanish coins, silver. And when I moved down here, and I got this job with the department for the state of Florida that houses individuals for extended periods of time, I had to put on my resume that I was on the Discovery Channel. I had my own gold show. Man, that spread like wildfire. There's a lot of people who made fun of me. Oh, look at you now, Discovery boy. What's up now? But there were others that would come to me and be like, do you have any idea what kind of area you're in? Have you ever thought about doing this? Have you ever thought about treasure hunting? I've always thought about treasure hunting. So what I'm going to be doing here soon is the direction my channel is moving will be to a metal detecting channel. With the luck I have, I'm going to be digging up a lot of garbage. But you know what? That's half the fun. You don't know what you're going to get. It's kind of like a lottery. The oldest city in Florida is St. Augustine. It is exactly 1 hour and 59 minutes away from me here. There is a Spanish fort still there. But from what I understand, you do not want to get caught with a metal detector walking around town. There's like some big fines or something for that, for digging up the earth, digging up the ground, whatever. But the area that I am in had the Spanish, the Confederate people moving through. It had Jean Lafitte running in his boats up this river that will remain nameless. And the stories of what people have found out here is ridiculous. Not to mention what's called the Treasure Coast, where after a hurricane, you're going to see brothers out there with metal detectors. And it's me as just a gold miner looking for that gold, looking for that treasure. I'm just going to be looking for a different kind of treasure at this point. But so that leads me into my next part, which is going to be my Instagram. I'm splitting off into two different pages. I'm going to have Goose Does Disney and Goose's Florida Adventures, because there is so much to see and do here in Florida. It's unreal. It really is. But everybody that really knows me and follows my Instagram, I love Disney. I can't explain why, but I've been doing Disney since 1975. I mean, I was literally, I think, 4 years old on my first trip to Disneyland, because I was born in California. And I went every single year. I watched the parks evolve. I watch everything. So it sticks with you. Disney's claim to fame is making memories, and I'm not going to lie. The relationship I have with Disney is probably considered unhealthy at many levels. But that's all right. It's Disney. The other direction I'm going is the Goose's Florida Adventures. That's going to be them Florida Springs. It's going to be them hunting, fishing, everything else. So keep an eye out for me splitting my Instagram. But the one thing on my Instagram, and I refuse to do a GoFundMe. I've worked for everything I have. I have never taken a handout. I'm going to be selling some stuff that's very precious to me. Keep an eye on my Instagram. I already posted one picture. I've got 2 things of large silver that I'm getting ready to unload that have been poured by Pip Bullion in Las Vegas. Both of them are very rare. One of them stamped #1, and I think he only did like 20 of the Metals Mafia Kit Kat bars. I have the very first one he ever did. 250 grams. Then, if I remember right, it's about an 11-ounce Pharaoh skull. I mean, you put that thing in a sock and swing it. Oh, wait, that's a work thing. Yeah, it's called a lock in a sock. I call it silver in a sock. Those are going up for auction because I need to fund getting another Garrett AT Pro. It's not a bottom end one, and it's not some super $2,500 one. It sits right in the middle. It does the job. So be looking for that on my Instagram if you're interested. But you know what? I am ready to start making great content again. I am ready to start cranking out those metal detecting videos. And I'm sitting on 10 acres that I can search right now of an area where they knew the Spanish come through, the Confederates come through. So let's get ready. Let's take that journey, and I want to share it with everybody. I've got connections down here. I'm hooked up with people down here. Let's do this. Let's dig up history. That's what I want to do. Dig history. So you know what? Catch you in a bit.